Ladies and gentlemen, today's video is going to be pretty fun. It's going to be interactive. In today's video, we're going to discuss what your life is going to be like at different levels of income. We're going to begin things off assuming that you make $1,000 a month, and then we're going to move up to $5,000 a month, and then we're going to move up to $10,000 a month, and finally, we'll move up to a whopping $100,000 of monthly income. And we'll discuss your life in different categories. What kind of a house do you have? What kind of cars do you have? What do your meals look like? And then we're going to talk about entertainment. What does your entertainment look like? Because entertainment is a big part of our lives. And at number 5, we're going to talk about your life as a whole. What does your overall lifestyle look like? And also in this scenario, I'm going to assume that you have absolutely no outside help. So you cannot call grandma and be like, yo, grandma, can I come crash on your couch and go freeload off grandma while she's making you chocolate chip cookies? That is not a possibility. I'm going to assume that you have absolutely no outside help, and the only person responsible for you to take care of you is yourself. So that being said, let's go ahead and kick things off at $1,000 a month. All right, at $1,000 a month, pretty impossible for you to own your own home at $1,000 a month because the median price for a house in the US is $350,000, which at $1,000 a month is nowhere close to how much you need to be able to afford a place like that. So what kind of place do you live in? You probably either live in a very beat up, rundown apartment in one of the worst parts of your city where your rent is probably less than $300 a month, because anything above that, then you cannot afford to have other needs that you have in life, like buying food and other necessities. Or you probably live in some sort of a shared development where you're sharing a house with other roommates that are also kind of like you. They can't afford to pay for rent, so your rent has to be $300 or less. So your living situation does not look too great. $1,000 a month, you do not get to drive a car, because I'm gonna assume that with a car, you're also gonna have to pay for tax, title, registration, you're gonna have to pay for insurance, you're gonna have to pay for, in some states, emissions and inspection, and also you're gonna have to pay for gas. So as you can see, with a car, there's a bunch of other added costs you're gonna have to add to it, which you at $1,000 a month cannot afford. So you don't get to drive a car, unfortunately. So how do you transport? Your mode of transportation is gonna have to be public transport, maybe using a bicycle, or you got given 2 legs to take you from point A to point B. All right, at number 3, what kind of foods do you get to eat? So at $1,000 a month, it's pretty much survival mode for you. You're gonna have to find food and you eat whatever gives you energy. You don't have the luxury of being able to go to any store and buying your organic foods and healthy foods and making your own dinner and making your own food at home. You don't have that luxury. So you're gonna have to eat a lot of cheap processed food. Your diet is not looking too great at $1,000 a month. And if you wanna go out and eat, you cannot go out to your favorite restaurant, have your Wagyu steak. You don't get to do that because you cannot afford that at $1,000 a month. You're gonna have your fast food and processed food. So again, your diet is not the best at that level of income. At $1,000 a month, your entertainment has to be completely free because your needs are a lot more important than your wants, right? So you cannot go and take money out of your budget and be like, okay, today I'm gonna watch a movie, because I'm sorry, but your eat is gonna be a lot more important. The type of place that you live in is gonna be a lot more important than, you know, I'm gonna go and entertain myself and go watch a movie. So I hope that at this level of income, you're prioritizing your needs over your wants. So your entertainment has to be completely free. I'm talking walk in the park, I'm talking going hiking with your friends, I'm talking about anything else that your city or surroundings consist of that are free and at no charge to you. And there's gonna be a lot of options. There's a lot of things that you can do that are completely free, but most of them is gonna be get-togethers of friends. It's gonna be just walking around, hiking, doing a lot of outdoorsy activities. So your entertainment is pretty limited to the things that you can and cannot do. So your overall lifestyle at $1,000 a month, you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're barely making ends meet. All right, $5,000 a month, you finally got a better job, you're making a lot more money. So what do you do at $5K a month? What kind of house do you live in? At $5K a month, you get to finally buy your first house. You get to buy a townhome, an apartment, or even a small single-family house. So you have your own place to live. Or if you don't want to buy a house, you get to live in a very nice apartment in the city, and you could pay rent anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 a month. Get you a very nice modern apartment anywhere in your city. It's not a car that you're gonna have at $5K a month. You have options at this point because we're almost financially free, right? $5K a month is quite a lot of money, believe it or not. So at $5K a month, if I want to finance and buy a brand new car, or even if I want to lease a car, I can get to drive a brand new Toyota Camry, I get to drive a brand new Honda Accord, or Nissan Maximas and Altimas, or if you want to have a luxurious car, then you can go the used car route and you can buy yourself a used Mercedes-Benz, which is progress. You went from walking to now owning a luxury vehicle of $5,000 a month. At $5,000 a month, you finally get to dine and feast a little bit healthier. You have a lot more food options now. You get to eat healthier. You can go to the store and buy specialty item foods, or you can go out with friends and have a nice dinner at a nice restaurant, because those options at that point for you are available. You don't have to go to fast food chains and have unhealthy processed foods anymore. At $5,000 a month, your entertainment is very well balanced. Your work balance, your entertainment life is going to be very balanced, right? So you get to work, but also every weekend you get to go out and have fun with your friends, which means that you have a lot of things that you can do as far as entertainment. Go to the movies, you can go bowling, you can go to a concert, you can go to the casinos and clubs, you can do a lot of very fun things and be able to afford it. At this level of income, what you want to do as far as entertainment is a possibility, because you're no longer living to survive, live and have fun. So overall, $5,000 a month, your life is very well balanced. You get to do what you want. You get to eat what you want, you get to have entertainment, you get to have a place to live. You finally no longer living in poverty. You've made it to the middle class. So you finally got your big break, and you finally made it to $10,000 a month, and you're entering the big league. At this point, your life is officially financially free, and you're in the upper middle class of all Americans. At $10,000 a month, you no longer have to live in a small townhouse, condominium, or a small single-family house. You get to afford a nicer, big single-family house in a very nice suburban neighborhood. You get to buy a house for upwards of $1 million. And not only do you have your primary residence, you also get to buy a rental property. You even get to buy a vacation property as well, because at $10,000 a month, you get to do that. You have the bank pay for the rental, the tenant pays for that, and you get to have a second property that you can afford, because you get to afford 2 mortgages at $10,000 a month. Your pool of cars that you get to drive at $10,000 a month is pretty endless, but most likely you're going to drive a luxurious vehicle. So you no longer have to go and buy a used Mercedes-Benz. Now you get to go to the Mercedes-Benz dealership and go and buy a brand new Mercedes-Benz. And you can walk out of it with a brand new lease vehicle or a finance vehicle, and you get to afford to be able to pay for that monthly, because you're making $10,000 a month. You can kind of like twirl with the big fish, swim with the big fish, and you get to buy a used Bentley Bentayga or an Aston Martin, right? So we're kind of trying to make our way into the big fish, because we can, because with $10,000 a month, that's enough money for us to be able to even buy and afford a used exotic vehicle. But just to be safe, we'll just keep it with the brand new Mercedes-Benz. What type of foods do you eat at $10,000 a month? Your food options are endless. You don't want to cook today? Perfect. Let me go ahead and call my chef. I'll pay him $200 today. I'll get him all the ingredients that he needs, and he gets to cook for me and my family. That's what it looks like to make $10,000 a month. You have the option of doing that. Or if you don't want to do that, you can go to the grocery store and buy all the organic foods, all the specialty item foods that you want, come back and cook it yourself. Are you tired? You don't want to make your food? You can get to go to the restaurant and have pretty good food at a pretty nice restaurant. You don't want to do that either. You can order in your food. Your options are pretty endless. So you no longer get to eat as a necessity. You get to eat whatever you want. And you get to eat for fun and for taste and not for survival. And at this point, you get to have your occasional Wagyu steaks, your occasional caviar, and occasionally you get to go to a 5-star Michelin restaurant if you want, with you and your friends. Your entertainment no longer has to be in the same city or country. Your entertainment could be all over the globe. You want to go to a nice restaurant in Paris? Sick. Let's book our tickets. We could get to go to Paris in 2 weeks and fly and have whatever we want to have in Paris. You want to go to a tennis match in Spain? You want to go to Australia and see Rafael Nadal play in the Australian Open? Sick. I have the money to do that. I'm going to book my ticket, and for entertainment, I get to go see Nadal play in the Australian Open. Those are possibilities that you get to do. Or even in your city, go to the movies, go bowling with your friends, go to a restaurant with your friends, go to the bar with your friends. You get to do anything that you want because you're financially free and you get to afford to do that. So your entertainment is open globally, but there's not much that you can afford at $10,000 a month. So you get to live a very, very fun lifestyle. Overall, at $10,000 a month, I've spoken to a lot of very, very wealthy millionaires, and they've said that their sweet spot to being stress-free and also feeling like you're financially free is $10,000 a month. You're not running 7-figure businesses with a lot of employees, so your stress level and your obligation level are very, very low. And at the same time, you're financially free, you're making decent money. So your lifestyle overall is very balanced, and you're living a good lifestyle with a nice house, a nice car, and a life full of entertainment. So let's say one day you're sitting at your $10K a month job and you decided that you want to open your own business. Your business takes off, business is booming, you start making $100,000 a month. You're finally considered wealthy, you are rich, you are in the top 1%. My friend, you have made it. You went from not having a car to eating processed foods and pretty much not having a place to live, to now you finally get to live in a mansion. Your primary residence is probably going to be between $2 to $7 million. But you don't get to have one house. At this level of income, you have multiple properties, multiple rental properties, you have multiple vacation properties. You get to pick a spot anywhere in the world and be able to afford a house in there. What kind of car do you get to drive? Since this is my sweet spot, I'm gonna do you a favor. Let me pick the car that you're gonna drive for you at $100,000 a month. So at $100K a month, I'm gonna give you your daily driver, and it's gonna be a Rolls-Royce Phantom. Let's say you're also gonna have a nice G-Wagon, we'll say a G63 AMG, which you can give to your wifey, and she can go to the grocery store to buy you that Wagyu steak, to give to the chef that she can cook for you. So far we have a Rolls-Royce Phantom, a G63 AMG. Let's also give you a nice exotic car. I'm gonna be a man of taste and not be basic. I'm not gonna give you a Lamborghini Huracan. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a Ferrari 458 Italia, red exterior, nice beige interior. We're also gonna give you, if you're brown, we're also gonna give you a Toyota Camry that you had from your brokey days. So you get to keep that car too, because we're never gonna sell that car, right? This is our way of looking at our life and being like, you know what, we made it. So far we got the Rolls-Royce Phantom, we got the G63 AMG, we have the Ferrari 458 Italia, and also your Toyota Camry from your brokey days. That's a pretty good lineup, which your 5-car garage mansion can fit all these cars for you. So at $100,000 a month, the quality of life is considerably higher, and your life is much, much more busier. So you don't get to come to your kitchen, even though you probably have a very nice kitchen in your mansion. You no longer get to go to that kitchen and have free time to be able to make food. Most likely, a lot of times you won't get to do that. So you're gonna have to hire a chef to make food for you if you wanna eat at home. But more time than others, you're probably gonna go out and eat or order in. And at this point, we're talking, you're having like delicacies, man. You're having really, really good food. You're having a lot of very specialty items. You get to have the most purest and most organic ingredients, and your life and your diet is very, very clean. So a lot of times when you go out, your diet's gonna consist of things like Wagyu steaks, beluga caviars, the purest Italian-grown Alba white truffles, and you're probably gonna want a very rare wine to have with all that as well. I'm obviously exaggerating. You're probably gonna have normal food as well, but the idea is that you get to have anything that you want, right? There's nothing in this world as far as food that you're not gonna be able to afford at $100,000 a month. So at $100,000 a month, when you get free time and you wanna do something fun, more times than the others, you're gonna wanna travel, right? Traveling is gonna be a very, very common and very, very basic thing for you. You can travel business class, you can travel first class, but more than likely, you're probably gonna travel private. And once you travel private, you understand that the TSA lines and all these pre-check lines and these long, long waiting lines that you have at the airport are no longer a thing for you. You get to walk to your private jets, you get to fly to Miami for the weekend, you come back, you had a lot more fun than you had in your own city. That's gonna be your entertainment. It's gonna be your world's gonna become your oyster. A lot of times they wanna have fun and things that you wanna do, you're gonna wanna do that outside of where you live just to get to experience different lifestyles, because you can do that with $100,000 a month of monthly income. Your entertainment includes VIP private parties, you probably have yacht parties, you probably go into backstage concert events, and all because money can buy anything, right? You no longer wanna go to the concert like just any regular person. You don't wanna go to boat parties. You don't wanna go to regular parties. You wanna go to a yacht party. You don't wanna go to a regular concert. You wanna get VIP access to go meet the backstage, go meet the crew and the singers, and you wanna have VIP events that you wanna go attend to and cater. Your life and parties are gonna be a lot more private, and you're gonna get to do things that you probably never imagined that you would do when you're living at $1,000 a month of income. So your overall lifestyle at $100,000 a month is gonna be very, very comfortable. Money is no longer a thing. There's not gonna be a lot of things in this world that you can't afford. Outside of wanting a yacht or a private jet, nothing in this world is gonna be unattainable for you. You get to eat fancy, you get to drive fancy, you get to live fancy. Everything about your life is just luxurious and fancy. That at that level of income, you probably have many 7-figure businesses and your time is of essence, right? You don't have a lot of time to give to entertainment. You're probably working 24/7. Your life is full of stress. You have a lot of things to attain to. You have a lot of obligations to attain to. You have a lot of employees that you have to manage. That's why people say that at $10,000 a month, since you don't have a lot of these obligations, your life is less stressful. That's why that stress to income level is a lot more balanced. Let me know what level of income you would be happy with personally. Let me know in the comment section below. As always, like this video. The algorithm likes that. And since you like me, you're gonna like that. And since you wanna join this family and show me some love, you're gonna hit that subscribe button as well. As always, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.